All right, welcome back to another edition of the Tuttle Daily Podcast. This is an interview that I've wanted to do for a while. I've been talking to this guy. We kind of lost contact. You got to understand when you work in radio, you have a lot of interns that come and go. But this one guy, he stood out in my mind because a lot of radio people, it's a really, really tough business. But I will say this about my next guest, Colby. He was an intern back in 2014 when I was working on the Monsters in the Morning. And I liked his integrity. Like, he wanted to make it in the business, but he also was not going to sell out his morals on things. But he was still funny. He still had a great sense of humor. But on the line with me right now is one of my good friends, Colby Urban, who is running. And now, Colby, I'll let you handle this. You are running for what office?
Hey, everybody. Yep. So my name is Colby Urban, and I'm running for St. Cloud City Council Seat 3. So just one thing to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying. I was so nervous my first day coming in as an intern for the Monsters, and Toto was the absolute nicest guy that I have ever met. I mean, showed me around and made me so comfortable there, and it was an experience I'll never forget.
See, I always see, because a lot of people in radio, I could kind of relate politics to the radio business because it is about who you know and who you have on your side to be able to help you out. And you came in there, you were able to be personable, you were able to make those connections, you were able to work with everybody, even though you may have differences, you were able to work with everybody there, and you were willing to learn.
Yeah, well, I got to say, everybody on the Monsters at the time when I was there was so cool and so nice. They taught me a lot. It was really a great experience, and I probably that was the catalyst that led me to where I am today and running for public office. So it really something that I will always be thankful for.
Now, so I can kind of see what you're saying, because before I got into radio, before I got my first internship, I wasn't that confident type guy. I wasn't that guy that could go out and speak in front of a crowd and portray their message. But I think radio helped me. And I think it was, like you said, a great experience.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not that guy. Sometimes I'm still not that guy. I'm a very quiet, introverted guy, and it really brought me out of my shell being around all of you guys in the Monsters. And one funny story was that I remember telling my wife to call in one day, and I thought it'd be fun if she called in. Well, it backfired on me big time because I led everybody to pressure me into asking when I was going to ask her to marry.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
She was my girlfriend at the time, and everybody was asking when I was going to pop the question and give her a ring and everything. Well, now we're happily married for 3 years, so it all worked out good.
Congratulations, man. So before we get into the interview, tell people if they want to learn more about you, do you have a website that they can go to see what you're all about?
Yeah, so my political website is www.electcolbyurban.com. or Facebook/electcolbyurban. And it's a lot. If you don't live in St. Cloud, it might not really make sense, the things that are said on there, but it's a lot of deals with local issues and where my stance is. And I've never been a politician. I've never liked politicians, but I decided to run to bring more of a positive difference. And I think we could use some young people there to really make a difference and quit all the arguing.
So, Colby, so now, all right. So, I there's so many areas I could start off with. Okay, now, what was that turning point where you were like, I got to start doing this. I got to get into politics?
Well, so many people love to complain about things that are happening around them and complain about things going on in the national stage and national politics. Well, the thing that really affects your everyday life is what happens locally with your local politics. And so I decided, instead of complaining, instead of just being somebody that goes on the internet and complains all the time, I wanted to get involved and do something myself and be able to make a positive difference for my hometown, the place that I've lived my entire life. So that's why I decided to get into it.
Now, does it give you grew up in that area, correct?
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life, and actually my family goes back 3 generations here. So this has been my hometown for a while.
Do you think that is something that will help you with this election, because that you have been around that area all of your life and you want to see the betterment of the community?
Yeah, I think so. I know the area like the back of my hand, and I know what it was like when I was growing up, and what it has turned into. It's grown. It's a suburb of Orlando. If people aren't familiar with St. Cloud, it's just south of Orlando. Really cool historic town that was actually founded as a soldier city, as Union soldiers coming home from the Civil War, which is really cool. I'm a big history buff, so I love that. And it was one of the biggest Union settlements after the Civil War in the South, which is cool because that's pretty unique for our area.
Now, what are the other councilmen in that area? What is their age range? Because I would have to take a guess that you're going to be on the younger end of the spectrum when it comes to people that could be elected officials.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the other council members' ages are, but I do know that I would be the youngest council member. I'm not sure if the youngest ever. Definitely the youngest person actively on the city council if I was elected. So it would be really neat. And I think younger people need that representation and need the voice because they so often get ignored in all levels of politics. So it'd be nice to have a younger voice on the city council.
So what are some of the issues, the main platforms, like, that's the thing about local politics, is that it's region to region of some of the things that are important to the citizens of that area. Like, what are some of the main concerns of the constituents there?
Well, the biggest concern, the biggest thing that I've heard talking to the different residents is the amount of growth that we've been experiencing. St. Cloud used to be a very, very small town. Even when I was growing up, it was a very small town. We didn't have a whole lot here. It has grown into a major city, a pretty big suburb of Orlando. So the growth issue has been a major issue for a lot of people here. And I understand that. I want to make sure that we are growing correctly, meaning that we're making sure that our roads, our schools, our water and sewer, police and fire departments are taken care of, and make sure that they're able to handle the amount of growth that we're experiencing before we grow anymore. We can't stop growth, and growth can be a good thing because that's more jobs and it brings makes us into a more diverse community, which is awesome. But we just need to make sure that that our roads and our schools and everything can handle that.
Now, okay, on the national level, a lot has been said about, the bipartisan, not being willing to work with people that have different type of views. Are you going to be one of those politicians where you are going to be hard-headed and not being able to change your mind, or are you willing to change your mind and work with the other side?
No, I think that's one of the advantages of a younger person running, is that it's such an old school belief in politics or with politicians that you're not able to change your mind and work across the aisle like that. City council race here in St. Cloud is nonpartisan. There's no party affiliation, Democrat or Republican. It's nonpartisan, which is great because that means we don't have to fight along a two-party system line. We can stand up for what we believe in, and I'm happy to change my mind if I was wrong previously, or if something in the future changes my mind. I'm very happy to be flexible like that.
So with you being a younger part of the generation, a lot of people on the national level think that, you know, people aren't willing to work with each other. They're going to be hard-headed. They're going to be stubborn. They're worried about what other their fellow politicians are going to think. Are you willing to work with people that have opposing views, Colby?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the most frustrating parts about politics today, is that so many people aren't able to work across the aisle in traditional politics and work with each other. One of the nice things about St. Cloud City Council is that it's a nonpartisan seat. There's no party affiliations, Democrat or Republican. So you don't have to worry about that party fighting, that kind of thing. And I'm always happy to change my mind. I've changed my mind a lot since I've been a younger guy, and I'm happy to change my mind again if something arises.
What is the racial demographic of Kissimmee? From what I've heard and what I've read is that it has a big Spanish community in Osceola, Kissimmee type area. Am I off by saying that?
Yes, yeah, Kissimmee definitely does have a massive Hispanic population. And here in St. Cloud, where I'm running, we're Kissimmee's sister city, basically, here in Osceola County. And so we are starting to get a larger Spanish demographic as well, which is great. We love having a diverse community here. And I really love the type of town that St. Cloud is becoming. My whole race is to just keep building on the positive impacts that St. Cloud has throughout Central Florida.
What is the main economic business in Kissimmee? What I'm talking about, what is the main, what is your area known for when it comes to business wise? What is the biggest business?
Well, here in St. Cloud, the problem that we're having is that a lot of people, most people actually in St. Cloud, work outside of the city. They commute to Orlando, to Disney World, to the tourist areas in order to work. I'd like to bring higher paying, higher wage jobs into St. Cloud, into Osceola County. They're starting to do that. We have a really cool place called Neo City, which is a new technological campus in Osceola County that's going to bring a lot of high wage technical jobs to the city. I'd love to see more of that coming to St. Cloud, so that if God forbid something like a COVID pandemic or recession happens again, so many residents in our city won't lose their jobs like they have before, because right now we're so reliant on the tourism industry. And as we all know, that's taken a huge hit. Yeah.
So give me an idea. When I think of Kissimmee, I think of the touristy type area off of 192. You're talking about Old Town, medieval times type area around there. I'm sure, because I've never explored your area. I from what I hear, you guys have a nice downtown area there.
Yeah. Well, you keep saying Kissimmee. I'm running in St. Cloud here, where Kissimmee.
St. Cloud, but I mean it's around that area, right? I'm sorry.
Right. No, that's all right. So we have a really unique, very cool downtown district, and it's really we have an app where you can actually go and take a self-guided tour of downtown St. Cloud, and there's so many cool little historical facts that you can see around town, as well as some great restaurants and bars that you can dine at. I would love for St. Cloud and downtown specifically to become more of a destination for people in Central Florida to come and visit when they're visiting here.
All right, so finally, as you talked about this, a lot of outside jobs. Do you have any plans to bring other businesses in? Like, is that something that you can even do in your position?
Yeah, well, I'm only one vote, but I would love to work with our city council and with our other local leaders, local representatives to try and bring some higher wage jobs into our city. I think that we could definitely do that, and we could build on the progress that our city's made so far. So I would definitely love to work on that in the next 4 years of my term.
All right. So, like right now, what are the polls saying? Do they even do polls on the local level?
No, we don't have any polls for the local level. I won't know until election day. But just talking to people around town and getting some feedback, I've had a lot of great responses and a lot of people who are looking to make a positive change in St. Cloud. So I'm
Well,
excited
listen,
for that.
I think you're going to win. I'm almost sure you're going to, but no matter what happens, don't get discouraged because you are still young. I can tell you actually sincerely care about the community. I really do. Like, I'm not just saying that because I know you and I'm trying to pump you up, but like I can just tell about how important this is for you, that you're wanting to make change in the community that made you the person that you are right now.
Well, I appreciate that, Tuttle, and I really appreciate the support that you've given me all along, and even from back in my intern days on the Monsters. Like I said, you've been so great to me, and I really appreciate that.
So, in closing, what do you want to say to those voters that maybe or that are going to catch this, that are undecided? I mean, what do you want to say to them?
Well, I'd just like to say I'd love to have your vote. I'd love to have the opportunity to make a positive difference in St. Cloud. And I promise I'm not going to let you down. If you want any more information, please visit my Facebook page, facebook.com/electcolbyurban or www.electcolbyurban.com.
All right, Colby, man. So when is it next Tuesday?
Yep, Tuesday.
So is there anything I can do? Would you like me to help you do a last push? I mean, I'm more than happy to come out and do anything if you want me to.
I appreciate it, man, but I'm just I'll be at the early voting sites, just trying to get out and meet people as much as possible, and I'm pretty much just doing that until Tuesday.
All right, Colby. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, man, and I hope this helps you out.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, cool, man.